Hi, everyone. We're going to get started. Don't have many people in here. I know it's 2 days before the holiday, but we're going to try it anyway because I'm super committed to you guys and I want to make this really, really powerful for everyone. So we're going to keep going. So what we're going to do today is really review what we need to have in ASAP. If you have not sent your content plan to us, you will want to do that. And by us, I mean Agentmoves. We are here on week 2, 10x your listings. This is the challenge that we created within the community. We only have a handful of you in this challenge because we are actually going really hardcore and testing everything we possibly can to see what will have the biggest impact on your 2026 pipeline. So what that means is in week 2, what we were focused on is building the content plan. We have a couple of strategies that are non-negotiables for us. One of those is YouTube. YouTube is so important to your business, and we want to make sure that you have a data-backed strategy to be successful. So the way that we are doing that is in week 1, we started by doing some market research on really trying to find where sellers are most motivated in your market area. So those would be specific neighborhoods that have highest turnover, they have higher price points. They are basically where your hot zones would be to go after. We use that to actually create your content plan, which was your next week's activity. And I will actually go through that right now. I'm going to do it for Stacy Esser. And you will actually be able to see that how I build out the plan for her. And you will want to mimic this exact same thing and send it into us. What we're going to do with that is you record the videos, but when you get them up, we make sure that you have essentially an omni-channel approach. Omni-channel just means that not only are you in YouTube, but it's sent out to your database, you're on your social platforms, like everything will get activated. And we want to make sure that happens to you by using our system. So let's get going. And we're going to start just with the content plan. So let me share my screen. I literally just updated my computer. I have a new computer. It is kind of trying to work with me here. So I'm just allowing all my settings. All right. So you should be seeing my screen, and it's got the 12-week seller leads content plan and follow-up scripts. This is the prompt you're going to use to create your content plan for the next 12 weeks. Now, why 12 weeks? Well, if we were to do this for the entire year, it's just too much. Things change too fast, and we want to see what's actually working. If you did this just for a month, going through this exercise every single month is sort of repetitive. Nothing's going to change that much in a month. So we pick a quarter. So you will do this 4 times a year to create your content plan. From last week, as you may recall, we had everybody essentially do your seller opportunity scout, which is a market research report to figure out those where sellers are most motivated. And from that, we actually can attach that document into this prompt. We used an LLM called Manus, M-A-N-U-S. But for this one, we can actually just use ChatGPT or Claude. And if you do have a custom GPT that Agentmoves has created for you, I would actually recommend you use that because that will give you really a content approach and strategy that's in your style and in your tone, especially when we start writing scripts or talking points. So we're going to take this prompt. You can just hit copy prompt, and then let me share again. I'm going to open this within the right tab. There we go. So you should be able to see the tab that has actually Stacy Esser's brand voice. This is the brand voice we created for her. It's a custom GPT that speaks in her style, has her value proposition, her method for how she sells for top dollar. All of that is embedded in here. So we want to use that when we actually have one of those. So let's paste in that prompt. So we're just going to paste that prompt in. And now it says I have attached this data, right? So we actually want to attach the information in here. So we're going to hit attach, and I am going to just attach her seller research. So this is actually doing a lot of different things, and you can kind of see that's why the prompt is so long. But the main thing that we want to output is this CSV. Now, at times, GPT may not do it exactly the way we want, but as long as it produces the CSV, it usually, I would say 99.9% of the time, it will follow the rest of the prompt. So we're going to start just with that. So it is going to go and it's starting to create the CSV. Now, remember, it's aligning that to the attached data. So if the data said that your opportunities existed in a particular neighborhood and the seller profile was, let's say, downsizer, right? It is going to ensure that your content is related to that. And that is really, really important. So let's let it create it. Now it's saying, do you want me to continue? You should say yes. You want it to basically create you the whole thing. So it sometimes will want to just do it in a separated format like this, which is somewhat annoying. So, and this will only do this because we are not using the latest version of GPT. When you have a custom GPT, you can't always do that. So, but you can see it's going. Now this is giving you a CSV friendly markdown format, which I don't really like. You can just copy this and paste it into your CSV, but I'm going to say, and then let's talk about what's actually in here. So while that's doing that, you'll notice the different, these are basically columns. So first it's just telling you the type. And we've actually specified that in the prompt that you do want a mix of things that are targeting the seller profile as well as local lifestyle. That mix is really, really important. So for example, this is actually a video on a local lifestyle that is about this neighborhood that attracts people going to this particular school, right? So that allows it to be good seller information still, but it's more on the lifestyle that you're trying to create, right? So if you're targeting a young family. And then this one is the 150K mistake 10 sellers make and how to avoid it, right? So it's giving you the hook right there. That's the video title. It's then going to give you your SEO title, your SEO description, and there's still some more columns here. It is giving you the keywords that you would want to use. So if you are creating these videos and you have a video person who is actually loading this in, you would want to send him him or her, the exact information that you want loaded into YouTube in terms of the keywords that you're targeting, the tags that you would want in there, the descriptions, all of that is found on here. It's even giving you the text overlay that you should put on your thumbnail and the concept of how you should do the thumbnail. So all of that gets created in this CSV format. Okay. So you can see it's kind of created. This is a downloadable CSV. So I'm going to actually show you one from another agent that we just created using this same tactic. And this was for an agent in North Atlanta, which I really want to call out because she's already created literally 15 videos on this plan to get ahead of schedule because she's going to be away for January, and it's super impressive. So let me show you what hers looks like. So you can see this has just been pasted directly into a Google Sheet, which is what I happen to like to work in. You could use Excel if you wanted, but you can see it's got the same sort of information. It's got the right SEO titles. It's got long descriptions. It's got the keywords, the thumbnail text, the thumbnail concepts, the hook concept, really everything that you could possibly need for that video. So the next thing that you may want before you actually record is I recommend that you actually create talking points, not an actual script. The reason is because a script will, you'll kind of feel like reading it and it won't feel as natural and authentic as we would want. So instead, it is actually better to just simply use our prompt, which we have as well, to create a script for it. So I will show you in this prompt, share that screen as well. So you can see that once it's created the plan, you can basically saying using this plan provided, right? Or you can do this in a new prompt. You can say, create me this, right? Using this video title, create me my talking points, and that will come off. It will give you exactly what you need to really talk through without giving you the word by word script. And then it's going to actually do it in the order that is best optimized for generating leads on YouTube, which is giving your hook in the first 5 to 10 seconds, having an early call to action. Essentially, it's a call to action that is right after your hook. And it's something that's really meant to build trust. And it's like giving permission. Hey, call me. I get calls like this all the time. If you are confused about what you want to do, if you should sell now or wait until the spring, give me a call and I'll help you out, right? Whatever it is, that kind of approach shows that other people are calling you and it's okay for them to do it too. So we have this kind of, by the way, I help people just like you, right? So it's going to give you some sort of early call to action. And then we also have this viewer retention tease, okay, which basically gets them to go all the way to the end of the video. So oftentimes what happens is they will watch the first 20 seconds, but then they're like, okay, they get distracted doing something else. An email came in and then they're gone. But if you have this tease early on, it will actually get them to stay to the whole end of the video, which is what we want, right? Increased watch time means more views, right? That signifies to Google, which is actually YouTube, right? It's owned by Google. That actually signifies to Google that, hey, this was relevant and people watched more of it. So watch time really matters in how it's going to syndicate and make your content show up. So what we want to do is give them some sort of hint at what we're going to talk about and that's at the end of the video. And that's usually your last talking point. Okay. So it's going to get them to stick around. So that's what this is. Then it's going to do the final call to action, which is at the end of the video. Right. And so that's how it's going to create this. Right. And it's going to use all the information from the script that we created to generate that. So if you wanted to, you could do this in ChatGPT and you can simply attach your CSV or your Google file, your Google Sheets file with your content plan and say, use this prompt, fill in what the actual title of the video is, and it will generate this for you. So my recommendation is to batch content. It will make it easier. And you can batch every single week and do both your videos, or you can batch for a month and do 8 videos. But 2 per week is really the strategy and the approach that you should use. And that should be your guide. This is one of the most important things that you can be doing to build your presence online is YouTube. It's really the number one strategy going into 2026. And if you're not doing it, you will notice that your leads will go down because it will get, honestly, other realtors in your area who are doing it are going to slowly take market share. And we see people, this actually happening to agents all the time where they've been an established business for a long time. And then some realtor comes in and all of a sudden is all over social and YouTube and they are taking market share from you. That's not what you want, obviously. So 2026 has to be about your video and content strategy. All right, so that will help you create your videos and you can start getting this going. The next part of what we wanted to review, and I'm going to show you this. So obviously we have a website for 10x your listings that I showed you guys last week, and I'm going to open it back up so I can just show you what you should be reviewing now so you can get ready for. So this is your vacation week technically in the plan, but there are some things that you can still do to keep going. And what that would be is we're going to head on into roadmap. We are currently, we've already gone through this week, which was the market research and reviewing that. This was the launch week where you were supposed to create this was last week, your 12-week plan. And now we are on the next one, which is your holiday week. You can see there was minimal activity planned. Really all we wanted to do was start getting your marketing assets going and make sure that you're reviewing all the different strategies to figure out which one you think is going to resonate with your market and your seller target audience, which is your seller profiles. So if we go through the strategies right here, this is actually all of them. I'm just going to go to the strategy overview. These are the 4 non-negotiable strategies that you'll be doing in this challenge, right? Your expert market video, which is tailored to that one specific area, calling into your database every single day and just creating a habit of doing it. Making sure you have your SMS MOFR campaign and your YouTube strategy, which we just talked about. The first asset is actually within the SMS MOFR campaign. So this is basically a campaign that's into your database, your SOI and your past clients, And it's just asking them a simple question, it's sharing value, and it's really just keeping in touch and finding out if there's anything going on in their lives that would warrant a real estate transaction. So you should review this strategy and determine what type of message you want to put out there to your database. There's lots of different examples in here. So you can kind of go through that. And it also explains how the automation works when we do it. So I recommend you going through this, and really for your first asset, it's just thinking through what you want to offer. What do you want to offer SOI? What do you want to offer past clients? And what question do you want to ask them? So if it is, let's say it's your SOI, and you want to say, I want to try to get referrals. Do you know anyone thinking of selling? You could do that. If it's your past clients, you may want to say, hey, would you give me a review? Right? The big thing is that all of these, whether you're asking for a review or you're asking for a referral, either way, it's going to establish your presence online. So it's really important. Both of them are super important. There's also some indirect ones, which are more about giving value, right? Which is like, do you want to know what it's worth now? Anything like that can actually help you. Recommend going through this approach and strategy and figuring out how you would want to position that to your database, because if you haven't already started this will be starting in the beginning of the year for you. So that was one thing that was a part of the list. And then we also want you to go through these strategies, which is they're optional, they're accelerators. You should be thinking about doing one or two of these as you go into the new year. And it's going to depend on your style. If you're someone who really likes to do events in the community, this strategy is probably more for you. If you like to do farming and mailers and direct mail is your thing, then you would probably pick one of these, right? So anything that feels that it maps well to your market and your style, that's the one you're probably going to pick. All right, last thing we're going to review, and then we will be done, is just the actual community. So let me take you into the marketing community, because I actually want to show you what kinds of things you can do within the community so you can keep on engaging. And there's some perks if you engage that I will show you. So let me share that screen. Okay, so when you get into the community, you can actually see I am live right now. But when you get into the community, you'll actually see that there are a bunch of tabs down the left-hand side here. Everything that we're doing is really in this 10x your listing strategy, but you'll start to see these areas are growing out with more and more posts and content and details. And you're welcome to go into that. But I would recommend that when you have questions about the listings challenge, that you post them in the group, because other people have the same questions. So it actually makes it a lot easier on us. And not only that, but you'll help the other people in the community with their same questions. So if you could post there, you can also react and engage. You can like comments. And when you do, there is actually a leaderboard within here. So there are different status levels, 1 through 9, and it's all about how you engage. So if you like a comment, you post a comment, you make a post, you do any of those, you basically get a point. And all of those points add up. And when you reach certain levels, we give you certain things. So you could see there's some rewards down the side. You can 12 months of free printing on any postcards. We'll build you a custom automation. We'll actually publish your book on Amazon. Cool things that we're adding into here. And all you have to do is engage in the community. When you do that, you will go into additional levels. And the more you do it, the more points you get. And so that is pretty simple. So really all you have to do is, let's say you were going into this post and you were saying, I can't find the learning tab. Whatever it is, right? That post actually will give you a point. And if someone likes it because they have the same question, that will give you 2 points. So it's really easy to earn points. And it's very simple to kind of navigate through this. The Learning tab actually has some trainings that you can go into. This is what we are actually in right now, but there's more, and we actually have more coming. So there's just a ton growing here. You get notifications when there's more that come up. This is our events that we do, the one we're on right now, this live. And I think that's about it. It'll probably take you through, but you'll see it's very easy to navigate into these. You can just kind of click into it and it will take you into the courses, and you'll kind of see how to navigate and go through them, right? So a lot of different cool things. Some of you guys have already gone through a lot of this stuff, but this is about creating your strategy. And this is actually what we're doing now, right? Your quarterly plan. a lot of related content in here. If you just want more information on it, or you really want to build it out in more detail, then I recommend coming on into here. Whereas the newest video we have posting this week actually is a Sora video. So you'll see the Sora video come up in here, which is from Stacy on how to actually use Sora and make it fun and exciting and engaging to your audience. And it's super easy to do. And if you have fun with it, you can actually create a lot of fun content. And she also talks about when to use Sora and when not to use it, which I think is really important. All right, I think that's about it. So we got through that pretty fast, and I don't see any questions because I guess everyone's on vacation. But hopefully you'll watch the replay. This will be in there, and you'll be doing your content plan. Make sure you get that done and picking your core strategy to accelerate your 10x your listings. That's really what we want to get into. And we will hit everything off the ground next week again. It will be a little bit of a shorter week, but we'll still get it going because we have New Year's, and then after the New Year's we're gonna power through all of this. All right, talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful and happy holiday if you celebrate, or at least get time with your family. Bye.